Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Walking This Way's Impact Force podcast. It is, of course, is our Wednesday edition. Where thank everybody for hanging out with us, being with us tonight here on this great Wednesday. Hope everybody had a great productive day. I'm your host, Furman Jackson G. I'm the CEO and founder of Walking This Way. We are broadcasting right now from the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. For everybody want to know what DFW is, and we're excited that you're watching us. Where you're watching us on Twitter, YouTube. On our Walking This Way Facebook page. We thank y'all once again. Also, along with me for the ride in the studio this evening, I got Lady D, Daisy Ray. How are you doing this evening?
Look, I'm glad to be here another day. These storms are just something else here in the Northeast Texas area. I'm just telling you right now, okay? I don't know how we're surviving it, but we are.
Yeah, most definitely. And those, we know there's a lot of areas of the hill, all that stuff. So wherever you at in Texas, make sure you being safe and stay dry. That's the most important thing. Also, we got the corn with us. The corn, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just focused. That's it. Also, just big shout out to y'all for the last night's show. I got a lot of information. That was really a really good show.
Wasn't it nice? I loved it. The Holy Chicks were definitely like vibing it last night. There's so much energy. It was a wonderful evening.
And that's what's up right there. We appreciate it. We thank everybody for zooming in. Right now, we got like 29 people already watching this already. So that's what's up right there. So also, I guess of the evening, Jennifer, she has a very amazing story. Awesome story, awesome testimony. And I know her story will inspire many people that are listening right now. So, Jennifer, thank you for taking time out of your productive
Thank you.
schedule to be
Yeah.
on the podcast. So, go ahead, introduce yourself to the audience here on Walking This Way Impact Wars podcast.
Well, thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it. I am Jennifer Pennington, and I started a business that's called Make Every Movement Count. So that's me.
And just take us on the background on when you say every make no the name of your business make every moment count. I'm getting tongue tied, but take us on the backstory on how it all came about.
Well, it was me literally lying in bed. Well, after I had back surgery, I had major back surgery and in my thoracic spine, which is a very unusual place to have it. But I was laying in bed. I was down for the count. I had three little kids running around. And I had a lot of time to think. Let's put it that way. A lot of time to think. I was in so much pain. My mobility was just so compromised because if you think about it, in the middle of your back, that is where a lot of your mobility comes from. Arms, reaching, moving forward, standing, walking, sitting, the whole gamut. So in that whole time, of me kind of running through that process after surgery, I was just thinking, what can I do to make my movement count? And what can I do to modify my action to start moving again? And I just literally started thinking of what I could do and how I could help myself, which in turn eventually help other people who have gone through the same thing. Low mobility, no mobility, lack of mobility, whether that be through, for whatever reason, injury, surgeries, adversities, just anything. And that's how it all began, just by taking one step each day. Just that's kind of the whole motto: take one more step today than you did yesterday. And if you can do that, then for me and for other people, that's called progress. So that's
Man,
how it
that's
all
what's up.
began.
Man, that's what's up right there. Cause we know we talk about we're already in the 6th month of 2023, and we know we a few episodes we was talking about what our goals want to be, how we want to accomplish everything before this year pans out. Cause we know we have expectations for ourselves when it comes to the beginning of the year. Then we go into this little phase, the emotions, and then we get back on the high again. But the main thing is to maintain a high momentum. And I know you mentioned in your bio has sent me about the mindset. We know that mindset plays a huge role. Anything we want to do with life. How what would your advice to be to help people overcome the obstacles, overcome the setbacks that we constantly face on a regular basis?
Well, mindset is definitely the first thing when it comes to working through a process of going from one point to the next point. And because if you don't have your mindset, your mind right to be able to take each movement and make something count out of it, then you're just not going to do much of anything, right? Because your mind isn't together, your mind isn't set, your mind isn't right. So, the way that I like to describe it to my clients and to people is it's a backronym. It's called LOVE, LUV, that I came up with. And it's listen, understand, and validate. And that's love yourself, love others. Because without doing so, and without getting that mindset and your mind in the right place, it will block you from doing the things you want to do. So listen to your body, understand that if you have to do things differently, that that's okay, and validate yourself when it comes to, I can't do this, I can do it a different way, so let's get going. So LUV is listen, understand, and validate yourself and others. And if people can do that on a daily basis with whatever, your body, your work, your relationships, whatever it is, we can make a difference every day.
I like that. Desiree, what time in?
You know me, I just have to ask. So, was this body in this great a shape prior to the injury, or was this something post injury and you said, I'm going to do this for myself?
Well, to kind of backtrack and kind of give you a thing, I've been athletic my whole life, but of course, kids come into play, surgeries. I've had 12 surgeries. And so that has came into play. So no, my body has done that roller coaster that a lot of people have been on, a lot of people have gone through for whatever reason in their life. So that was one of the turning points, is when I had major back surgery. For me, I had to have a turning point, and that was my turning point. I couldn't just lie there in bed. I couldn't just say, hey, I'm going to accept my body for what it is and what it wants to do, and be okay with just lying in the bed and basically deteriorate and could possibly die. That wasn't in the cards for me at that point. So that's when I started thinking, writing down. I couldn't move a lot, so at least I was using my mind to think, okay, what can I do? How can I push myself forward? And so my body has been on that roller coaster, just like so many people in the world. It has been a struggle. So what I have learned how to do through mindset, through nutrition, and through moving my body is pushing it to where I can know how to eat properly, balance my food and nutrition properly, and it's being disciplined. It's being committed, knowing that I have to do things a certain way, and it goes back to that love concept. Knowing that I have to listen to my body, know what it likes to be fueled by, know what it likes to do, how it likes to be done, but know that I have to modify because of my injuries and because of my surgeries, and tell myself it's okay that I have to do it that way, and then just keep moving every single day. Keep doing it, keep committed to it. And so that way I wasn't on that roller coaster anymore. And I just learned how to balance everyday life when it came to all of that mindset, nutrition, and exercise.
That's what's up. DeGuan?
Okay, yeah, I wanted to ask, what does your meals look like daily?
Again, for me, it goes back to balancing food. And this is what I teach a lot of my clients too. If you, first of all, know and understand what body type you are, there are 3 major body types, that categories that people typically fall in. And there's some, that you can be dual, like they are ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. And if you know the body type that you are, then that will help you know and understand what styles of food and what type of food that you can eat. And for me in particular, it's all about balancing complex carbs, which is, good healthy greens, very little fruit, a lot of protein, and healthy, good fat. And pretty much I just balance that all throughout the day. And I can cheat, I can eat, I just eat a well balanced, nutritious meal is what I do. And I don't like to say diet, because who wants to be on a diet for their whole entire life? That's not me. Sorry, I don't know. I don't think anybody does. And so it's just about learning how to eat what's good for you, what's good for your body, and in a nice, balanced way. And that's really what I do. So a lot of protein. My body structure, I'm in between a mesomorph and an endomorph. And so I've learned that a little bit higher protein, a little bit less carb, and a little bit more fat, my body will burn and work a lot better, especially when I do cardio and my workouts. So hopefully that answers your question.
No, I definitely
I could
did.
go in 500 different directions at this point, because I could eat this stuff all day long. Like I could talk about it all day.
No,
But
you
hopefully
definitely
that
did.
answers. Okay.
I wanted to know if I could ask, only because you said it. Why not a lot of fruit? Because most of us, we hear fruit, we just that's healthy to us.
Right. We look at fruit and we look at healthy, which is not a bad thing, but fruit has natural sugars. And when it comes to the sugars can be converted very easily. And if you're not burning it, you're storing it. And then that can store into fat, dependent again upon the body type that you have, and whether that wants to store a lot better in your body, or if it wants to burn a lot quicker, just depends on the body type that you have. For my body, it doesn't like a lot of the even natural sugars because of that reason. So my body tends to hold on to those sort of sugars and stores fat, and I don't want it to do that.
My body just holding on to everything.
Oh goodness, I'm sure.
Right, I just recently started. So I just did like lipo injections on last Friday, and so like right now the whole diet is high proteins, low, like absolutely trying no carbs, but that's almost impossible. I'm just telling you, like it is. And then of course eating more vegetables, no sugars. I'm going to tell you the truth. This no sugar stuff ain't no joke. Okay. Everything I look at has some sugars in it. And I'm like, hello. And so
absolutely,
I've been just living off of like avocado and hard boiled eggs. I feel like I'm so restricted. As a matter of fact, I did in my Instapot, I did some pork chops, and then I did green beans. That's what I had for dinner. And I was like, day 1,922 of this diet that I am that I'm really so deprived on.
Yeah, and that's really what they call the keto, like in the old school way. It's keto diet, right? So and really you are losing a lot of your fat because of the way that you're eating, not necessarily because of the procedure that you had or having done. So and the way I like to look at it, again, is not a diet. It's healthy, balanced eating, healthy, balanced lifestyle. And it's a lifestyle. It's learning how to make this movement, this mindset, and the nutrition a lifestyle, so you can create healthy habits, which in turn is going to be better overall for health. It's not necessarily for fitness. It's for health. And that's what we want, is long life, longevity of life, in order to be able to do the things that we want to do every single day with the people that we love every single day, even if that's ourselves, right? So that's what we have to look at. And that's what we as a society need to get embedded in our brain, is like, it's not, I'm going to go on this diet and lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. Okay, well, most of that's going to be water if you're going to do that. But it's about learning how to do the things the correct way for your body to be able to move on and have a great, productive life. And I have this client, and she's still a really, really great friend that I keep in contact with. She had back surgery just like I did, and I She came on as a client 2 years ago. She could barely walk, on a walker, just in a recliner. Not but last year, so 1 year after her surgery and working with me, she created a movement lifestyle, a nutritious lifestyle, a great mindset. She hadn't been athletic or anything before, and she was up in Moab hiking the canyon, and she was barely able to stand up when I met her. So that's what it's about. That's what life is about.
And I definitely agree with you. It is definitely a lifestyle change. And, the hardest part, I think, is, and I've been saying it's me versus me. Like, if I'm going to do it, I've got to be the one who does it. It can't be because somebody else says, hey, this is what you need to eat. I know what's better for me and what's not. And I know that a lot of it is, just not getting enough sleep. I know that both Daquan and Furman can tell you I don't sleep very much at all. And so my body needs rest, and I'm getting old. I need the rest. But, I think it's also, isn't it just so hard to find? Like, I went grocery shopping to try to eat these healthier foods. I was like, literally, you guys want me to go broke just to be healthy here. And that right there, I could see is why a lot of people are struggling with trying to find the right foods to put in their body. It's so much easier it's cheaper to go through a drive-thru and buy junk food than it is even to go through a drive-thru and get real food, right? I mean, get healthy food. And so it's just grocery.
They try and make it that way. Yeah, they try and make it that way. And what I like to do is meal prep. And meal prep is a huge deal because if you think of it, if you have 4 for the week, and so you're not eating the same things, if you have 4 carbohydrates and your greens when it comes to vegetables, and 4 sources or even 3 sources of protein. You got a fish, you got a ground turkey, you have chicken, whether you make it barbecue style, whether you chop it up or you put it in the oven and bake it, however you like it. For me, it's all about texture. So I have to have texture with everything, or else it's like, no, this is horrible. So if you do that and you prep your meals, not on Sunday making every single meal for the rest of the week, but just prepping the basic fundamental brown rice, quinoa, whatever you like, then if you think about doing that and you already have it cooked, you have it ready to go, and all you have to do is one night I want to have a good healthy Chinese dish or a Mexican dish or something that you like that sparks your interest, and then you add, different elements to it, green onion or whatever. And then that is a lot quicker. And if you think about it, if you go through a drive-through and then you sit at the drive-through and then you go back home, that normally takes about roughly 30 minutes. Right? So if you're doing that on a daily basis or even every other day, you're wasting so much time. But if you're meal prepping, you can have all that done in less than an hour, and you've actually saved an enormous amount of time, and you could actually save more money by doing it that way.
It makes sense. I know you mentioned that it's not a diet. I know nutrition. I know we used to hear all the time, diet. But you say it's not a diet. Take the listen on his own. You say that all the time, diet, but you say it's not a diet. It's more nutrition. So elaborate more on that for the listener on this also.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I know you had mentioned in your bio, you mentioned that it's not a diet. It's more about our nutrition. So elaborate more on that, because I know we had to break that mindset, break the algorithm of getting out of the diet, but it's more about nutrition and eating properly.
Yeah, because if you think, hey, I'm going on a diet today, what normally pops in your head when you say diet or somebody says a diet?
I want chocolate.
Yeah, thank you. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to sit here and just like, I can't eat sugar, this, like the whole list like goes in front of your face. And then you start going pale and you're like, I'm going to pass out and I can't do this. And then you never end up doing it, or you do it for 5 days and you're like, I can't do this. There's so many things because it messes with your mind. It just completely messes with the brain. But if you tell yourself, listen, I'm okay if I have 2 bites of whatever it is you like. 2 bites, 3 tops. Your brain only needs 3 bites of something in order for it to say, I'm good, I did it. It's the rest of that. It's your bad habit that makes that continue. That makes that more of a habit. It makes you want it more. So if you tell yourself you can't, you're going to want it more. If you tell yourself it's a diet, you're probably not going to follow through with it. If you say, I am going to change my habits and create a healthy habit, and I'm going to eat in a good, balanced way, but not say I can't, then you are more than likely going to continue to try to get better and better and better with every single day that you're trying to create a nutritious, healthy lifestyle.
Right. So main thing is really all learning how to communicate with ourselves in a way
Yeah.
where we have to, want to say, drown out the ego, but overcome an ego. Like you said, you hear diet, I want cake, I want this, I want that. But to really communicate with ourselves in order to get the results we want. Because we know a lot of times people want the results, but then they fall short, they get upset with themselves, and they just give up on everything. How can you help people maintain that? 'Cause I know everyone wants to see the results, but like I said, if they eat a cake, they feel like they lost everything, and they just throw in the towel.
Yeah. So again, that goes to telling yourself that you can't. And having a few bites of cake, that's fine. Now, having a few bites of cake multiple times a day, every single day, then that's where the whole mindset comes from. And that's where you need to have some help with a coach or somebody if you are learning how to kind of restructure your way of thinking again. If you need help through that, that's where I come into play. That's where other people can come into play as coaches and help. But really, it's about, yes, creating a different mindset, making sure that if you want to commit to something, that you are truly working at committing to that and have a goal in place in order to do that. Because if we don't have our goals in place and we're just like, I'm going to create a healthy lifestyle today. Well, let's write down why you want to create a healthy lifestyle. What is preventing you from not creating that healthy lifestyle, or what has been the deterrent? And then let's work our way through that. And then let's find some ways to get through that together. And that is where it all comes into play. And what's good is, like, when I help my clients, I am not there to hold the hand through life. I am trying to teach them how to do these things, create the mindset, help with the nutrition, and help with the movement, whatever capacity you're at. Because while I was in this, I created a progressive fitness program too, going through everything that I've been through. And I want them to graduate from me. I want them to graduate from me helping them with more knowledge, more understanding, more personal power, and just be able to go and say, you know what, I got this. That is where their empowerment and their love for themselves, it just shines, because now they're armed with what they need to and what they want to have. And I can be their friend and I can be their support whenever they need me, but they don't need me to be there every step of the way. And that's something that they can be successful at, is graduate and be armed with all this great information.
Yeah, because we know it's out there, and we know that we're now in a time where people are learning to love themselves. They're learning to invest more in themselves, and we're very proud to see that progress. A lot of people are doing that now, with investing in themselves, loving themselves, getting mentors, getting trainers to help them enhance their life. that they want to live. You'd always saying, I want to become a better version of myself. And we know that's
Hmm.
something we should strive for every day because we constantly evolve. We're supposed to evolve each and every day in order to get to that place that we want to be at. How important is mentoring? Having a mentor, having a coach, because we don't know everything. We don't, but it's always to show how humble we are to go and get the help that we need in order to advance to the next phase of our life. So, how important is mentoring in our generation?
I think it's really important because if you are unfamiliar with the territory and you're unfamiliar, especially if you've gone through the adversities with health, illness, injury, whatever it is, and you're just like, I'm so used to going and I just throw the weight up and I'm used to just pounding the weight. And but then you've had an injury or you've had an illness and you're trying to get back to it and that's all you've ever known. That is not going to be the best thing for you. So in going through all that, you know, it comes down to what your goals are, being humble and just saying, this is not my area of expertise. These are my goals. This is what I want. This is what I want out of life. This is what's important to me because I want to be, you know, on the lake with my grandkids, or I want to be out in my yard working in my garden. And when, you know, in 2 more years or whatever the case may be, or next year. So everybody has their own personal goal. Everybody has their own thought process. And if they are unsure of how to get there on their own, then reach out, ask for help, ask for guidance. I mean, it's really, to me, it's really crucial, especially if it's an important piece of your life. And if it's ever been a part of your lifestyle, it's just something so important because who wants to give up the things that they love to do? And who wants to just be there, just be a part of, you know, just hanging idle. And that's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to hang idle. I wanted to make sure that I was there for my kids when they graduated high school, when they went to college. Like I had my own personal goals, and those were my reasons for wanting to get up and get out of bed and start moving again, because I know I could very easily had been laying there and deteriorating and not going to be there in 2 years if I didn't get up and get going.
Man, that was up. Desiree, you have anything?
No, I completely agree. And I think that, this process right now for me has been easier just because another friend, the one that actually did the lipo injections for me, like we've been kind of holding each other accountable. So every day we're encouraging each other. We're sharing what is on the menu for us to eat.
Yeah.
And so I think it definitely helps when you have somebody who's right there. Because now, listen, I love to cook. Like cooking is like therapy for my soul. And I'm not talking about just like this healthy stuff I've been having to make. Like I like to cook, I like to bake. And so it's been completely different. Now I'm telling like my oldest son and his girlfriend had moved in recently. And I'm telling them like, don't eat that stuff in front of me. I can't cook that for you. That's how it was like the first few days. I
Yeah.
remember messaging Daquan and he's like, hey, how are you? And I was like, I think the body's going in through ketosis right now. Like everything is just on edge for me. That's what's going
Yeah.
on. I said, I feel so lethargic. I don't even know who the hell I am at this point. And so I was
Yeah.
like, my body is having major withdrawals. And so, but I've noticed that, it's gotten easier. Like when I made that for me for dinner, of course, I made them baked potatoes and, Velveeta shells and cheese. And it
Yeah.
wasn't even like in my head to want to eat it. Like now I'm just in that point now. I'm like, I know I don't need to eat it. And I know I
Yeah.
need to keep pushing through. But it helps whenever you have somebody that's, guiding you through it. And I think that's why having even a mentor is great. That encouragement, you need that positivity. You need that cheerleader sometimes to let you know, like, and remind you, what are you doing this for?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Even if it's a friend, even if it's someone that has walked the same path as you, or somebody that's walking the same path as you currently, it's just important. It's always good to have somebody in your corner by your side to push you, motivate you, and to make you want to be, hit your goals and reach the things out of life that you know you want to reach. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, no matter who it is. If they're doing it in a positive, constructive manner, in the right way, absolutely. A friend, and and that's great that you're you have your family that surrounded you. I have 3 boys, and they're older, they're bodybuilders, they're now, in the gym slinging weight. And so I'm constantly cooking and cooking and cooking. And I'll tell you what, it takes just discipline. You know what?
Yes.
Knowing, hey, I love this. I can eat this. My body, and it's not that I don't want to eat things too. My body has changed so much over the years that my body just can't handle things anymore. And that's when it came also to listening to my body, because it's not just because I can't eat it or whatever. It's my body just is like, no. Like, let's rethink this. And so then I have to be like, well, I mean, it smells good, it looks good, but I know what I can and can't have because my body does or does not like it. So
absolutely, yeah. And
yeah.
So mine are sons, and they're grown. They're in their 20s,
Yeah.
and but even just raising them as a single mom, when you have 3 boys, which 2 are biologically mine, one is a stepson that I got custody of. And so when they have all their friends over, then it's like 15 to 20 boys at your house, like 3,
Yeah.
4, 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
You gotta feed those boys, right?
Always.
Speaking of boys, that's one back there behind you guys. And so you definitely have to feed them. And so, and even just like right now, this, he of course moved in, he wanted to move into the area that I'm at. And I said, well, just stay with me until you guys find a place, like I'm here by myself. It's large enough of a house, and now I'm back into like where it was weird how I used to just be able to eat, like just for me. So I wasn't fixing big meals. Now it's back to like, I want to cook. I want to cook for my baby. Like, I want to make him brownies because I know he loves brownies. Like, I want to do those kind of things. And so, but now I got to be like, I can cook it. I just can't eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can bake all you want. You can have fun, enjoy it. It's just knowing the little bits and limitations. But yeah, sounds like you're doing wonderful. I mean, you got it.
Look, every day it's just a step further. I mean, I just keep telling myself every morning, wake up, okay, if you want this, you got to keep doing it. So, but there's definitely struggles. I promise you that.
That's life.
I definitely wanted to make a point that you said earlier about how you actually go about, teaching your clients, giving them that freedom. And I think we often hear diet, and the first thing we think is like restriction. I can't do this. And then I think we kind of quit rather than it being a need of survival. Whereas when you think nutrition, it becomes a need to survive. Whereas diet sounds more something new, and just it don't sound serious enough.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
We can still hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah. So you're right. I mean, it does. That's kind of what I was saying. People just kind of start like getting flush, and they're just like, diet, because it is so restrictive, and that's the whole thought process. And when you think that, your mind automatically goes there to all of these things that we know as what a diet has done to our bodies before, how we felt, or how restricted we are, and that's automatically what it does. But when we say, hey, I'm going to make a lifestyle change, and these are the things I'm going to do to take place, then we tend to want to not eat as much sugar, because we know that we're going to eventually have sugar. We know that we can just go through life and move through life and know it's okay that we have life happening, but we're just balancing our food. So balance, if you think about it, you're not, overdoing one thing and underdoing another when it comes to dairy or protein even, or carbohydrates or fats. So you're not overdoing one thing and underdoing another. You're balancing all of them according to what's proper for your body, not my body or his body, your body, and balancing the food eating. That's what a lot of people ask me too. Oh, we actually eat? Yeah, you need to eat. That's what makes us like live. You cannot not eat. And it's about being healthy. It's not about dwindling away and then being unhealthy because you're so sick because of whatever you just threw your body off doing. Underdoing one thing, overdoing another thing. It's about balance. So it's always about balance, whether it comes from nutrition, mindset, exercise. You got to balance all of those things, and that's where success comes into play. But first, it's about getting those gears going and getting the mindset for yourself, for your goals, for your individuality, and taking one more step today than you did yesterday, and keep moving each and every day in the right direction for you.
So what is your opinion on fasting?
Oh, I have some opinions on intermittent fasting. So fasting in general or intermittent fasting?
I mean,
Both?
just go
Both?
go for it.
Okay. So my son actually asked me this not too long ago, and he's like, what do you think about intermittent fasting? And I said, well, you go to sleep at night, don't you? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, aren't you really intermittent fasting when you are going to sleep at night for 8 or so hours? He's kind of looked at me. He's like, oh, yeah. So again, it's about balance. It's, there's a certain point in things you need to do with food and with your nutrition in order for your body style, your body structure to be able to burn and run through the way that it needs to, and how it needs to burn fat, how it gains muscle, all of that. So I can't say that it's horrible. I can't say that it's great. What I'm going to say is you need to do the best thing that's for your body, but a good, balanced, healthy eating and lifestyle is what's going to be best for your body. And you're not overdoing one thing again and not underdoing another. You're balancing it, and you have to sleep at some point, whether that be for 6, 8, 10 hours. How much sleep you get is, hopefully you get enough sleep. But so at some point you are fasting, and you don't just wake up, pop up, and then eat. I mean, you're going to go to the gym, you're going to do, go on a walk, you're going to go and get ready for work. So there's a good portion of time that you're not eating. So really, I don't know if that answers your question exactly, but hopefully that gives you some idea of, hopefully I explained that okay. Like,
No,
you're
you're fine. I just wanted your
okay.
opinion. I know a lot of people that are doing the fasting to try to lose weight. And of course, my son, he believes in fasting. I mean, he can go forever long fasting. I don't understand it, okay? But he's like, Mom, you just got to clean out some of that stuff out of your body. You just got to kind of like restart it. And I'm like, when you just tell me to fast, I'm like, I'm going to fast my ass right to the kitchen and find something.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing. I'm telling you, it's mentally a
it is. And you can reset your system and tweak some things without completely fasting, like fasting for days or fasting for however long. So you can do that with other ways too.
And I know I know a lot of people that are doing like 13, 16-hour fast,
Yeah.
And that's how they're doing it. So that's the reason why I was asking just what your opinion was on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not a horrible thing, but it's not something that you want to do on a daily basis, like every single day, if that answers your question.
Yeah. I know you mentioned your mom had a stroke and it took great portion of her mobility away.
Yeah.
So how was that transition with really just helping your mom?
Yeah, my mom's had 3 strokes. 2 of them mini strokes and 1 major stroke. And so I have been the person that's helped her through all of that. When she came home from the nursing home, the facility that they sent her to after the hospital. And, it really helped me, because it really helped me to be able to understand what she needed as far as, because it affected her mobility. It didn't affect her speech or anything like that. So that's what it affected mostly. And so I really was able to use what I have learned over the years and my knowledge to help her get back and get moving. And so I was very fortunate that way. And it really has taught me how to be more compassionate, more patient, and it's humbled me a lot. Because it's different when it happens to you as a person and where my mobility has been affected, because I know that I what I have to do, I got to get up, I got to get going, I got to do all these things. But to do that with someone that you love so much that it hurts so much to see them in that state, then I really had to just take a step back and really teach her everything that I know, and be a great advocate for her too in so many ways with her doctors and with everything that I can. So I mean, I've taught her things, but she has also in turn taught me so much at the same time.
Man, that's awesome. And I know you mentioned earlier about patience. We know we got to have patience. How important, and how you stress that loosely about the patience, because we know that Rome was not built in a day. We know it's an ongoing process. So how big is the patience now that we work with clients? How you teach them how to be patient with themselves also, instead of just want to go ahead and give up knowing that, hey, you're not in this by yourself?
I have really tried to, it's helped me be more compassionate towards others too. And I think that's why I came up with the backronym that I did, also the LUV. And in that process, it was listen, understand, and validate yourself and others. Again, I address myself, because if I wasn't in a healthy state, if I didn't take care of myself and my mindset and my body, I wouldn't have been able to be there for my mom. I wouldn't have been able to take care of myself first and then be there to be able to help her or help the clients that I have been so blessed to get to know and to get to be a part of their life. And when I talk to clients and when I've talked to my mom, it's harder to be patient to yourself. It's harder to love yourself. It's harder to listen, understand, and validate. You're just always asking, why is this happening? Why did this have to happen to me? I don't understand it. And honestly, that's what she says a lot to me. I don't understand why this happened. I've always been so this, and so, and she just reiterates that. And so whether it be my mom, my clients, or myself, I just always have to go back to listen, understand, and validate. Listen, understand, and validate. And that's validate what they're saying, what she is saying, or what my clients are saying to me, and being like, I understand you. I understand how you're feeling. I don't know everything you're feeling, but let's work through this together. What can I do to help you? And it's just asking a lot of questions. It's making sure that I am completely trying to understand what they are needing, what their goals are, what they want out of life, what they want to do, and just being patient with them at the same time is easy, because they're harder on themselves than I will ever be on them, like ever. And I want them to know that they need to feel safe, they are comfortable, it's all in their due time. And that's why it's called lifestyle change, not hurry up, I only have 8 weeks with you or 12 weeks with you change, right? Because If you falter, I am there to pick you up. I am there to help you through that. Why did we falter? What can we do differently? Not beat you up about it, not for you to beat you up about it. We are here to make lifestyle changes, not beat each other up. We're here to support each other and love one another, not beat each other up. There's so many other people out in the world trying to do that to you for whatever reason. But it's about being supportive, being attentive, being patient, being kind, and just having good communication with one another. And if we could just do a lot of those concepts, I mean, whether it be health, fitness, nutrition, just life in general, we could be a lot better of a society if we even just try to incorporate a lot of those values, honestly. And, we just need to just start caring for one another instead of just ourselves. Because if we're just caring for ourselves and thinking of ourselves and ourselves only, then we're not putting anything out in that universe for us to catch back.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jen. I think that's so important. And I think that, if we could all practice being, kind to others, also give kindness to yourself. We are hard on ourselves.
Yes.
We're our worst critics, right? So, but I know that we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we are definitely going to come back. And I'm sure DuPont's got some more questions for you, as well as Furman. So if everybody will just stand by, we'll take a commercial. We'll be right back to ask Jen some more questions about, making every movement count.
With today's technological advances and fast-paced life, BMS is your trusted next-generation IT solutions provider that keeps you ahead of the competition. From humble beginnings, BMS Company is now one of the fastest-growing software engineering service providers, with international presence and golden reputation for excellence. The BMS Company is your one-stop global destination for web development, mobile application development, digital marketing, SEO, Facebook and Google advertising, social media management, business consulting, printing services, and many more. BMS is trusted to provide timely, cost-effective solutions. At BMS, we believe in providing guaranteed results, irrespective of a project's complexity. No stories, no excuses. And core to all of our operation is that we practice what we preach, and we deliver what we promise. We're proud of our dream team of solution-driven enthusiasts, comprising of industry experts in various fields, including blockchain, IoT, and AI. Our unique makeup and cooperate synergy enables BMS to add heart to technology while delivering our trademark exceptional results for our esteemed customers. Get free 3 months of hosting and 30 days SEO when you partner with us today. Call us now on 469-992-4567 or visit our website at thebmscompany.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back here on Walking This Way Impact Force Podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr. We're broadcasting live from the DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. In the studio with me, I have Lady D herself, Desiree. What's going on with you once again?
I'm good. Y'all, I apologize. Karma is being her needy self again. I think that she knows that this rain has prevented her from being able to go on some walks. And then I walk in the door from work, and then she needs attention, and so I apologize for all the movement going on and me having to give her these dirty looks, guys. I do apologize. It's my dog. It's my baby. She needs me.
It's okay. Go ahead. It's okay. It's okay. And then we got the corn. The corn's going with you, sir.
Hey man, I'm good. I'm just enjoying this. Like I said, I'm getting my health information. You know, we all got to start getting more conscious of it. So I appreciate this. Definitely needed it. I got a question though. What is your recommended workout routine for somebody? Well, anyone.
Well, that is a bit of a tricky question, just because, again, it kind of goes back to the body style that you have. So not every body can be put into a mold of a fitness routine, because every body is different, right? So it really depends on the person, depends on their goal, depends on what they want to accomplish. But the program that I developed is a progressive fitness program, and it's called Move, MOVE. I do have, well, it's MMOVE because it's modified mobility, optimize volume, and endurance. And the reason that I came up with a progressive fitness program is because, one, I eventually want clients to graduate and learn how to have a movement lifestyle on their own. And two, there are people in so many different facets of life that are like bedridden, and they haven't had a lot of mobility. They have had a lack of mobility for whatever reason. Clear on to somebody that's, competed and, in a fitness competition, or whether they're just wanting to get some additional movements in for whatever reason. So that's the reason why I developed the Move Fitness program, is because we're all at different stages, but we all want to progress to each stage at some point. And if not, well, you keep progressing in the stage that you're at. But so it really just depends. It really depends on what your goals are. I mean, whether to increase volume, whether you want to just go and run a marathon or a half marathon, whether you want to just get out of bed, be able to get out of bed that you hadn't done for maybe weeks for whatever reason, or, like walk out to your yard that you hadn't been able to do for whatever reason. So it really just depends on each individual's goal and what they want to accomplish from their goal.
That's what's up. And I know you had mentioned, you said we focus on mindset, the key to everything. How were you planning for success today? What habits are you creating now? If you don't intentionally create and plan your day, it will be filled for you with demand of other people. You really are stronger than you think. Let's talk about that, the key to everything. The question you mentioned, how you plan for success every day. And we know that we don't plan, and we know we don't vision things. We know we allow people to come in and determine who we are, and then we lose ourselves in the process. So take us on that journey on how we should plan every day. So when we open our eyes, we got a day ahead of us, whether we're going to make the day good, bad, or I know we can't control everything. We control what we control, but we can't control everything else around us. But how do you tell your clients or go about planning their day?
Really, when it comes down to it, it's prioritizing what's important, what you need to do, what's important for you to do. And of course, I'm not going to write down, I have to go to work today. I mean, because that's only the obvious thing. Right. But I mean, it's the little things in between that. Because what I have heard, even when I wasn't in fitness and trying to help others reach their goals, I would hear this because I was at the gym or just in fitness and doing competitions or whatever. There's so many people that say, I don't have the time because I got this and this and this and this and this. Or, they'll give a list of reasons why they can't, or how come they can't lose weight, or what's deterred them from losing weight. So it's about writing down and prioritizing what is important to you, making a goal, making short-term goals, long-term goals, and sticking to those. So if you can visually see what you have written down, then you can make a plan out of that. You can make it to where you can plan your days, plan your weeks, plan your months, plan your years better. Right. And so if you have that in place, and if you can start prioritizing what is important to you, why you want to accomplish these certain things, how you're going to get there, what vehicle you're going to use to get there, not literal vehicle, but hypothetical vehicle that you're going to use to get there, then you can start taking action to that plan. Right. But if you don't have anything at all, if you don't have anything written down at all, then you will never you won't know. You'll just start, just every day will start passing you by, and you'll just go to work. You'll just, you know, throw things in there that hasn't been a priority to you. I mean, your days will just go by. But if you plan it out, then yeah, it's a lot more effective. And I have a list of questions. That's what I use, is just a list of some questions to help people to be able to understand what they can ask themselves, and what I can do to help them, and what others can do in their family or their friends to help them to be able to, you know, help each individual person that way.
Right.
Hopefully that, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense because we know it
Okay.
made me think about the whole born again, being born again, like restarting our lives, just restarting over in general, not just when it comes to our health, but when it
Uh-huh.
comes to our finances, when it comes to relationships, when it when understanding the meaning of having true success, because everybody wants to have a good life, everybody wants to have a life they're very proud of, and we
Yeah.
know we know it's the beliefs that we have that have been passed on through us, whether from parents or religion, stuff like that. And it's the mindset we develop. So now it's like time people are breaking the algorithm. Okay, learning to believe in myself, learn to have confidence within myself. Not trying to live to please others. You know, the Bible said, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself."
Yeah.
So we've all been programmed to love others, but we were never taught to love ourselves, like better than ourselves. Or we do something for somebody, we do it to get their attention, but we don't get their attention. Then what happened? We just give them with it and just give up. So I'm glad
Yeah.
now that we get to the point to loving ourselves, learning to believe in ourselves, have that confidence in within ourselves. And I know that takes really takes mentoring, coaching to really help us to have build that confidence. So how important is it to have confidence in everyday society?
Um, I feel it's really important to have confidence, but you have to be able to learn, put one foot in front of the other, really. And in order to do that, it's just learning how to be okay with yourself, how to love yourself for whatever reason, whatever way you want to do it, whatever way you need help doing it, whatever it may be. It is truly important to take care of yourself
Hmm.
first.
Right.
Because if you can know how to take care of yourself first, not be selfish, I'm not saying the selfish way of it, I'm saying take care of yourself first, prioritize yourself. Because if you aren't able to do that, if you aren't able to take care of the things that you need to take care of for your own life, you are not going to be able to do that and be a part of it with other and for other people. It won't happen, whether because your health could fail because you're not prioritizing yourself and taking care of yourself. Your mindset may not be right to be able to have the patience or have the love or have the compassion to help other people the way they need to. So there's so many different aspects to that too, but it is truly, truly important.
It
Yeah,
really
I
is.
agree.
It really is. Let's talk about the next one. You mentioned what habits are you creating now? We know we have good habits and we have bad habits. I know a lot of times we had bad habits
Yeah.
growing up. We got a little good habits, but
Yeah.
focus on breaking. How can we break the bad habits that we had developed through the years? I know a lot of bad habits come from our childhood until
Yeah.
adulthood, but now we want to be able to break those bad habits so we create good habits. Because we know our bad habits
Yeah.
can cause a lot of toxic things, whether it comes to relationship with a person that we want to be with. And
Yeah.
truth be told, when we enter a relationship, we don't want to bring no bad habits in because I look at
Right.
that person you want to be with, they are innocent bystander and they don't deserve to go through none of that stuff. So, what what method you help with your clients on breaking bad habits, but creating new habits that's healthy instead of the bad?
I ask them a lot of questions to begin with, and really try to find the psychological like, why are they thinking the way they think? What has happened in their life that has made these things happen, or that has created these things to happen? Why they do what they do, how they do what they do. I really just get to know them as an individual. That is, for me, the most important thing to do. And create, if I ask them how they are doing as an individual and what I can do to help them, and really try to figure out what to do to help them, then, that's the main thing. Just ask a lot of questions, try to dig deep and figure out why they're doing what they've done for so many years, and try to help them break that, and try to give them different avenues to try to break that habit, and try to give them different ways on what to do and how to do that unhealthy habit that they have done for so many years. So, because it may not be, it could be, like you said, something that their family has always ate this way, and that's just what they're used to. They don't know how to cook any different way. They didn't understand that, there's certain sugars that are in fruit, or there's certain sugars in vegetables, or they just thought a vegetable was a vegetable and all vegetables are good. Or a protein that has a lot of fat, or there's so many different things. So it's really just asking questions, really, is what it is. Just asking questions, try to dig how it's affected them, what can we do differently, give them my feedback in knowing and understanding them and their unhealthy habits that they've created over the years. And then we just walk through that step by step by step. I can't give them all the information at once. It would be too overwhelming. So we just take it piece by piece by piece, because if we do that, then it's just so much information. They would just want to quit if I just overloaded them with information. But if they're getting to learn themselves, and like understanding themselves and thinking, oh, I never thought of that before, or I didn't understand that, then it gets them thinking, and that's what you want. You want them to think for themselves, and to learn and to grow, and to be able to understand the who, what, when, where, why, instead of just tell them, do this, do this, but if I can arm them with the right information, with knowledge, then that's where the lifestyle comes into play.
Yeah, because like I said, we all want success. Anybody wants success. And I'm not talking about in the form of money and stuff like that. But, healthy relationships, get along with others, loving yourself, just being there, and just feeling good about yourself. Because that's part of being healthy, right, is to feel good about ourselves. Be to have mobility, be able to get out there, do the work in the yard without getting tired, or do housework without getting tired, or going to work without getting tired. But overall, having a very great lifestyle, and that's really just focus really big on the mindset, because that mindset is everything. Because we could be excited, which I know is a thing called having false confidence as well. We can have that excitement going on, but soon the reality come in, we go right back to that state of mind, which means, okay, it's really me versus me. So now is the old saying, we could be our own worst enemy. Helping people get out their own way. How can we get out our own way? Because I know we can't be our own worst enemy. Because even the Bible tells us that we deceive ourselves. We don't deceive nobody else. We deceive ourselves. So what steps can we do to get out our own way? Because we know when we get in the way, we mess up everything.
Yeah, we can, that's us as humans. That's why we're a part of this world, I guess, is to learn how we can grow and become better individuals. And sometimes we have our own insight, and that's how we can progress. But sometimes, just like at church, you have a pastor, you have, someone to guide you, a preacher or whatever, to guide you through. It's kind of the same concept. We just have to, as a coach, really try to help people learn how to teach them how to get out of their own way, and be compassionate towards them, listen to them. And we are our own worst critic, no matter what anybody says at any point in time. You know, I could look at somebody and go, oh my God, they have the most amazing body ever, like they're perfect. And then they could say to me, no, have you seen my abs, or have you seen my thighs? I mean, right? So there is so much of that out in the world, or my biceps aren't big enough, or, you know, whatever. Or, you know, you have beautiful eyes. Oh, my eyes are brown. Okay, they're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there is always something that we want to say about ourselves that we don't feel is right or perfect. But guess what? Life is not about being perfect. That's what we need to get out of our own heads too. We're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. We were never meant to be perfect. What we are meant to do is be the best that we can be for ourselves, whatever that may be. Our goals are completely different. Our mindset could be different. But if we are united in trying to have a common goal, and I am trying to help you reach your goal, and I'm doing that by listening and understanding and validating you as a person and what your need is, then you will be the best that you want to be, because we will get you there together, not alone, together.
And when you say, Jen, that society has put a big thing on that, like that ideal of what we're supposed to look like, you know, it's really, even just with our, you know, young ones at such a young age, you know, they're expecting that they need to have this certain look to them, or, you know, certain hair color, certain height. I mean, I'm not going to lie, like I post all the time, you know, memes about being 6 foot tall, gray sweatpant kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I'm just as guilty as any other social media thing, right? But it's all in good humor, people, okay? So, but, you know, a lot of our younger, you know, generation is truly thinking in their minds, when they're being drilled with what society is putting out there of what you should look like. You need to be this size to be a model. You need to be able to, you know, have these perfect abs, or your butt needs to be lifted to this, you know, elevation. Like, so then that's what they're striving towards, instead of just loving themselves. That's why we have so many that are anorexic. That's why we have bulimia, you know. And I mean, I'm guilty of it. Like, I, not even from social media, but from family members, you know, when I was younger, being, you know, 110, 115 pounds and still being told I was fat, still being told I needed to be thinner. I was bulimic for quite some time. To where if I even just smelt food, I was in the bathroom throwing up. Like I just could not do it. And it messed me up internally. It messed me up. Like, I had ulcers so bad. I mean, it was just awful, right? But if I could be, I mean, do you know what I really shouldn't be 110, 120, I mean, 115 to 120 pounds now, because my boobs would make me fall over. But that's not the point. At the end of the day, I would love to be that thin again. But, you know, at the end of the day, that doesn't change who I am as a person. And loving myself now, yes, I want to be healthier. Yes, I want to feel better about what I'm wearing. I want to feel confident in my skin, my clothes. And for me, even doing this journey that I'm on now is not necessarily about like what that scale says. I don't care what the scale says every day. I care about how I feel. I care about my energy level. I care about knowing that, you know, my body is my temple. So if I'm not taking care of it, I'm just destroying it more and more as I'm aging. And so it is important for me to say, you know, you're almost 44. I'll be 44 next month. It's time. Like, it's past time for me to say, you know, you deserve to have health coming into your life, into your body. And then at the end of the day, I don't care if that scale doesn't move a pound below what it says. I care about being able to put on something and say, I feel good, I feel healthy, and I feel confident. Because right now it's just the lashes and the lip gloss that make me feel confident. Although somebody did message earlier and said, are your lashes heavy because you blink a lot? I said, I know I blink a lot. I have the worst dry eyes. I've been working all day. I've been up since 4 a.m. And then, of course, you know, this ring light here probably doesn't help it any. But no, these lashes are not heavy. And so
Well,
just
what they should say is your lashes are beautiful and they're long. That's what they should say, right? So, but yeah, I mean, absolutely. And there's being on a diet or being um, in fitness doesn't mean you have to be unhealthy, because you can be there are so many eating disorders out there, even for people who are in competition, even for people whoever in life, because that's just life. But if you can take your life by the reins and you can figure out what it is that you want to do with your life, whether that be for health reasons, fitness reasons, work reasons, whatever it is, it's about doing what's best for you, not for your neighbor, not for your kid, not for your dog, not for your mom, not for anybody but you, because who is living your life? You are. All right, nobody can live your life for you. They want to think they can. They want to control it in whatever way or whatever manner, but they can't and they shouldn't. And you are the one that has ownership of yourself. You.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you can take ownership of yourself and take your life by the reins and say with conviction, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to get it, this is what I'm going to do to get it, this is my goal. And if you have a roadmap for any of that facet of whatever it is in your life, like I said, work, fitness, health, whatever it is, then you will accomplish it because you have a plan in place, because you have goals in place, because you have support in place, because you are taking ownership of your own life. And that is what it's about. You have to know what your life is truly about.
So let me ask you this, for those that are listening or that listen back, for those that say, I would love to be able to work out more, I can't afford to go to a gym, or, I don't want to make that commitment to a gym because I don't know how often I'm going to use that membership, so I don't want that to be money wasted. So what helpful I can't even speak. What helpful tips would you give to those listening that, can maybe do some different types of workouts, cardio, whatever, outside of the gym?
Most definitely. There's a lot of things you could do. I say go back to the basics. So you know how to walk, start walking. If you want to jog a little bit, then start moving your feet a little bit faster. A bike, recumbent bike, whatever you want to plant at home. That's how I had to start back into it. I had a recumbent bike. I couldn't go to the gym for a very long time. I have a mini tread at home where all I could do is move my feet. It's a perfect vehicle for me to be able to do my cardio when I couldn't get to a gym. And then push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, just body movement in general is going to get you started. It's going to get you going. And believe it or not, using your own body weight works wonders. So even if you have some bands you want to start setting to that, you can do pull-ups with those. You can do back work. You can do chest work. You can do anything. But if you're just working on the basic fundamentals that we've always been taught at school during PE class or whenever, you're, like I said, squats, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, that is a good base to get your body moving. And we all know how to do those basic fundamentals. Now, if you can do them functionally, because, we're all different. There could be somebody who has a lack of mobility, then there's modifications in all of those. What I have done in my program is I've made available gym workouts, home workouts, for every single one of those progressive workouts. Not only that, but I have done workout video exercise videos for every single movement, over 2,000 movements. So I am there to teach you, even if I'm not in front of you to teach you how to do it properly. I give you a description on even how to do it properly. So that, if you don't have me or someone else helping you, that is the best way to just get going, your basics.
Okay, so and I have another question for any of our female audiences listening, aka myself right now. Okay. On the ass, like I have no ass, like so whatsoever. My sons are always like, "Mom, do this, do this." I promise you, keep doing it. You're good. Dequan's laughing right now. I'm so glad. I love this right now. But what helpful tips would you give for those that want to get more of a booty on the back end there? So give us that.
With cardio. So here's another helpful tip. Cardio movement can really help you act like a workout, like gym workout, like weight workout. If you're doing a stair stepper, you can do it nice and slow and squeeze, and that helps. That works your glutes, it works your legs, it works your thighs. A bike, same thing. So you can get a workout in even when you think you're just doing cardio. That's what I'm trying to say. So I would say stair stepper really helps. Reverse lunges helps. Hip thrusts, and squats, doing squats. I mean, there are a gamut of exercises that you can do to increase your glutes. Yeah, sumo squats, goblet squats are great.
I like how she said it all proper, with the glutes instead of me saying the booty. Like, I'm just as straightforward as it gets. Okay? Like, this is what I'm going
No.
It's because they're always like, they'll sit there and give me like the medicine ball to hold on to with my back up against the wall, squatting down, and I'm like, it ain't helping. They're like, Mom, you can't just do it one day and then think that you're gonna be. And I'm like, this is pointless. Like I try, I definitely do the stair climber whenever I go to the gym. Yeah. And then I look over at that girl who's got those bands on and she's really doing the stair climber and her butt already firm, and I'm like, girl, I'm off this stair climber.
No, don't ever give up. You got it. Don't worry about all those other people. Remember, we just worked on this. Don't worry about everybody else. Because you know what? Guess what? At the gym, there ain't nobody that cares about what you're doing but you.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Unless you're the person who falls on the treadmill, then everybody's looking at you.
Well, then they'll look at you, and then they may help or laugh. Either one, but still, yeah, that's okay. I am so clumsy, so I'm right there with you.
And also, they want to talk about this one too. You said in a love concept, you said understand what you need and what your goals are emotionally and physically. Let's focus on that. Understand what we need. We know the need over the want. The Bible says that God supplies our needs according to His riches and glory. How important is the need over the want? Because we think what we want is not what we need, but we know that our needs will give us the momentum, the life that we need. So how important is to focus on the need and execute the want that we want? We think we want it, but it's not what we really need at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess that goes back. That's a really good question, because when you take a look at your needs and your wants and you really put a fine line in between those two, and then you try to write down what your needs are and then what your wants are, and sometimes they match up and sometimes they're just like completely on different spectrums. Really, you're just like, how could I say that I need that when that's really a want? So, when you need something, it's because it's something that's going to benefit you in a positive way. Does that make sense? It's the need to be able to, I need it to be sustain my life. I need this to be able to to be able to function. I need this to be able to perform the activity or the job that I'm looking to do or to be successful at. So, but I want can be something that isn't a necessity. It's not something that's really, I mean, I want $1 million, okay? So, I mean, but is that really going to make your life successful? It's the needs that can make your life successful, not necessarily the wants.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So if we're looking at just, again, I guess it goes back to take one more step today than you did yesterday sort of concept, in just taking and putting one foot in front of the other, even if it's one more step than you did yesterday. It kind of is the same thing when it comes to needs and wants, because we will put one foot in front of the other and try to reach something through that path, I guess I should say, through that. And we could want all day long, but if we have no plan in place, if we have no goals in place, if we have nothing in place that will get us there, or the drive or the desire, then it's not gonna matter. We could want all day long, but the need, if you need to stay healthy, you're going to do whatever it takes to stay healthy, because your body has been pushed, or your mind has been pushed past that brink of, I'm going to do whatever it takes to survive.
And that's important, because I know we hear people all the time say, I'm chasing the bag, I'm chasing the bag. But if you're not healthy, what's the purpose of chasing the bag? Because you chase the bag, then you have health issues. So you can just take that money to go to the doctor, get all this medication and stuff.
Yeah.
So we forget about that. We know that being healthy is important. And that's what the main goal is, to be healthy, feel good about ourselves, be more energetic, be more alert. And then, of course, clothes. Everybody like to dress up, so you want to look good in your clothes for yourself.
Yeah.
But the main important thing is really just feeling good about ourselves and not struggling, breathing hard, lack of energy.
I need to grab
really feeling good about ourselves.
my phone charger. Sorry about that.
Okay, you good.
I didn't expect to be on my phone, like I said, because of the whole thing. But anyway, so I'm listening.
Yeah, that's the main goal. Is like, hey, I want to feel good about myself. I want to look good for myself, and feel better, feel energetic, alert. That I could take on the world because I'm feeling good. I'm at the health point to do it. I want to talk about this too. Let's talk about. I heard this before. Having a mission statement for your life, having your beliefs in place, just really having stuff in place. Because this is stuff we never taught ourselves. We were never taught to have a mission statement for your life. Work on your values, work on your beliefs, work on your legacy. This stuff we never even heard before. I never heard it. But we know that businesses and jobs have mission statements, organizations have mission statements. So as an individual, we should have our own mission statement, correct?
Yeah.
To create the life that we want to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I definitely believe in that.
Yeah, I mean, we should have, and I guess that's the same thing as a goal. I mean, if you can put a plan in place and have goals, and there isn't just one goal for your life's mission, there should be so many goals for your life mission, because it depends on the reason, it depends on the season of where you're at in your life. Those things change too. And priorities can change and things like that. But to each season of your life, there should always be a goal, always be multiple goals to be able to be where you want to be. And so, yeah, it's the same thing. It would be the same thing as a mission statement. And that's ever changing in my book.
I just wanted to ask one more question. Because I know we getting late. I'm like, I want to be able to get this one more question. So when you were, going through your situation, what was the support like? Because like, was there anyone that maybe they should have showed up with support but didn't, or was it everybody just kind of came and gave you the love? Because I think a lot of people they may not have that love from everybody, and I know
Mhm.
deep down in your mind, some of us may think, especially if we know we don't have that kind of support system, and
Right.
be like, man, what would happen if I was to get hurt? What was happening if I can't do this? Will there be anybody there for me?
Right. I have to say, sorry, my phone. Plug in. I would have to say that I had support, but it was very limited for a short period of time. So it was, um, you know how after you have a baby, or if you have something happen and people are there to rush to the hospital or to rush to by your side or to hurry up and be there, and then like they're over it in like a week, or they're over it in helping for a short, in like a day, because they just want to say, oh, I was there and they figured out what happened, and then all of a sudden, poof, everybody's gone, and you're left holding the bag, or you're left like, wait, I thought they said that I would get help, or they were going to help, or whatever. So for me, that's kind of the way it was, because my dad had passed away. My mom had been very sick, and so I knew that they couldn't be there for me. A lot of my other family, they tried to help, but they couldn't help as much because, they had work and things that they had to do for themselves. So after I've had my surgeries, especially the back or shoulder surgery and things like that, I think the intention is always good for friends and family to be there, but who could really be there 24/7?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where, I mean, I had three small kids at the time after I had back surgery, where I was just like, I was just left alone. And I was like, I don't know what to do or how to help them. So I literally had to force myself and talk myself through the pain every single day, not knowing how I was going to get out of bed, but I had to try to modify how I got out of bed, how to walk to a bathroom. I had to modify how I had to get to the bathroom. I literally said, if I don't help myself, I have no help. And so, again, I think that's where a lot of this thought process came of take one more step today than you did yesterday. That actually came because I was at the gym and I could barely get to the gym because I wasn't even supposed to be driving. But I was like, I got to get to the gym because I got to be able to walk. And if I don't walk, I can't take care of my kids. And if I can't take care of my kids, they're not going to eat. I mean, it was like snowballing. And so I had to literally tell myself every single day, even if I take one more step today than I did yesterday, I'm making progress. And I looked like a hunched over like woman, and I was only in my 30s, and I could barely walk, and my feet were barely shuffling down the track. And I would get out of the elevator, say I did enough, and get back in the elevator, walk down to the car, get in the car. It took me longer to get there than I was actually at the gym. And because I was too embarrassed to walk out on the street, because I didn't want my neighbors to see me go through that suffering and that pain. And I was internalizing everything, and I wasn't talking about my pain and what my struggles were. I would just go do it because I had to do it, because I had no choice, and because no one else, I didn't have any help. And so it was literally every day, the same thing every single day. And then I started walking more upright. I started walking a little bit faster. I started to be able to go a little bit further. And every single day, I just worked at that. And it was just walking. And so that's how I learned to start communicating more effectively with myself and with people around me, and taking care of myself and letting myself know that I had this, I got this. What are my goals? I just want to be able to walk a little bit further today. I just want to be able to walk a little bit further tomorrow, and then just keep going and going and going. So as far as help, I didn't have a lot of help because of those reasons, but I walked myself through it mentally, physically, and through my nutrition. I knew I could start getting my body to cooperate with the rest of my movement. And I did it through nutrition and my mindset, and I did it through my movement, just taking one more step than I did the day before. And that's what I had to keep doing, and having faith that I could do it and I could get through it. And that's what got me through, honestly. And I had support in, hey, how you doing today, but not physical support.
And like I said, anything else? Like I said, we had a great time here on the show.
Yeah.
But really, go ahead.
I wanted to give Jennifer or Jen, I'm sorry, I don't know which one you'd rather go by.
Yeah,
I wanted to give
either.
you the opportunity to definitely let all of those that are listening, or they're going to listen back to it, to tell us how they might be able to find the program that you've created, or how they can get in touch with you if they need some guidance for a healthier lifestyle.
Well, thank you. It's www.makeeverymovementcount.com. And I'm on the social sites. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, also at Jen Loves to Work Out, LUVZ, 2, and then workout. But you can always reach me on Facebook, Instagram, the website. And then what you do is you just fill out a questionnaire when you go onto the website. It asks you some questions, and then I can just get you started, get you going. We can figure out what body type you are, what works best for you through nutrition, through the movement, and how we can get you going in your mindset to make goals, to make that commitment to yourself, and to prioritize your day for yourself.
Thank you. Absolutely. And I know that we'll definitely put that on the website. I mean, across the screen too, or in the comments whenever we get off of this. But we definitely appreciate you. I know.
Thank you.
I know Daquan, he's going to absorb a lot of what you've shared with us today. And I personally myself have too. And Furman, I know Furman goes to the gym as well. So definitely a lot of good pointers. And we appreciate, bless your heart for having to hold your phone the whole time. I know that you weren't wanting to use your phone, so you've been a trooper on that.
Hey, that's why I work out my shoulders, right? Hey.
you got your own workout, just holding that phone through this entire hour and a half. So we definitely appreciate you taking the time and then just sharing those good, healthy tips with each and every one of us on the podcast here tonight, and then those also that have been watching. And so I know I've got a lot of messages that have been coming through of just, things that people are asking and saying. So awesome. I appreciate you. And again,
thank you so much.
Definitely share that on the podcast.
All right.
We do appreciate you once again. Before we get off the air, Jen, you have any final remarks for the listening audience that's going to listen or ain't going to tune in the near future listen to as well? Oh.
She'll probably be right back on. She probably accidentally just lost us there.
Oh, man. Okay, great points, great stuff on tonight for those who listen. We thank everybody for supporting the show as well. We thank everybody for tuning in every week, hanging out. We had a lot of great guests on here, been dropping gems and nuggets, you want to call it, to really enhance, help better you as an individual, man, woman, whatever, but help you in a benefit in the long run. So that's what it's all about. What I got out of it, just being born again, restarting your life all over again, getting and understand now what the Bible says. Without a vision, the people perish. So we know it's important to have a vision for our lives, where we want to go, and breaking the algorithm. Because I know through the years, growing up, we was taught to think a certain type of way, never taught to question a lot of stuff. You question stuff, you get in trouble for it. But it's important to question things, knowing things, so we can become better people, better individual all around. Because everybody wants to be better every day. I know I want to be better every day. So it's all about being better every day. Should want to. I know I do. It's just learning how to challenge yourself every day. I know I mentioned before, like the show. I never go look at the show. People say it's good, but I never go back and look at it. But it's always good to go back and look at it because you always learn something from it. You say, okay, I can do this better. I come with that. I can deliver that better. So that's all part of just getting better. So I'm all for it. So what I got out of it?
Go ahead, Daquan.
Oh no, I was gonna say I got a I got a lot out of it, especially on the support part because I got to be honest, I kind of was expecting the opposite answer. I swear for some reason it looked like support was raining down, and I guess that really goes to show you really don't know who's getting support or not, because it just makes you now look at her even more like, man, she really championed that because the lack of support from those is a difference from those, okay, you can't in another state, those kind of things is cool, but if you close, you in my proximity, we good friends, and I'm going through something like this and you not around, like, oh, I would be on a attitude of I wouldn't, it's not right, but I really wouldn't care if anything happened to you because I was at my lowest and I needed you and you almost couldn't be there at all. So that was just really deep for me because like I said, imagine doing all of that work alone, making it happen. And it ain't like it wasn't lightweight either. I really couldn't walk. Come on. It's just that was just so crazy that, and that's why I support the way I do because I feel like it's people out there like that. It's having situations and problems going on and ain't nobody around for them. And I just think like, we not gonna grow as a people or even hit our goals if we can't be helpful to others. If we would turn on ourselves eventually. But yeah, that's definitely what I got out of that.
That's what's up, Desiree.
I mean, obviously for me, just a lot of things on there, that I felt was important. But I also just think that, it's definitely about, how bad you want it. And it's about, not worrying about what anybody else thinks. It's all about yourself. It's about doing what's healthy for you. And in the end, when you're doing what's right for you, then it'll work out in the wash. But I, also loved how, she briefly touched on it about how she was saying that, she realized that no matter what, she had to do it because she had to take care of her kids. And I think that we've talked about this in different avenues on the show about how people will say, how can you have so much on your plate? Or how come you're working so hard, you're pulling all these extra jobs or shifts. And at the end of the day, like if you don't do it, then who's going to do it? You can only count on yourself. And that's the same thing when
Right.
it comes to a healthier lifestyle, whether or not if you want to go to the gym, it's up to you. You can't count on anybody else to just hold your hand or throw you in the car and say, we're going to the gym. Either you want it or you don't want it. Either it's a priority and you know your why behind what you're striving to do or accomplish. And so it's got to be about your own mindset. Again, it's me versus me. And I think that that's something that, is something she touched on briefly in a lot of the different things that she said.
Yeah, that's important. So, like I said, we only got 6 months left in 2023. We got to get better. I want to get better. Everybody should want to get better. It's all that mindset, knowing your why, and just really, hey, we only got one life to live, right? So tomorrow's not promised to us. We know they say life is short, so we got to get a buckle down, ladies and gentlemen. It starts with us first. So we better get it off the air. Big shout out to Jean. I know she had technical difficulties on we thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Great, awesome woman, of course, to come on the show, hang out with us. Her testimony, how she changed everything, and we love to see that. That's what we love here on the show. We got a lot of negativity already in the world. We need some positivity in the world as well, right? So
Absolutely.
we're gonna be back here Saturday morning here at 10 a.m. on the Saturday morning edition. Me and Desiree. And we're gonna be back here next week as well. Man, I can't believe this month is almost over with. Dang. We better get going to July before we know it. So wow. But man, y'all have a great, great night. Remember the graveyard. Everybody had one thing in common. They thought they were gonna see tomorrow and they didn't. Remember, man, let's live life like it's our last. And I'm gonna say this too. They say, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. If it's something you want to get done today, do it. Don't wait till tomorrow, cause tomorrow's not promised. Let's not take life like for granted. Let's not even take each other for granted, cause this may be our last time here. And before we know it, tomorrow, like we were just doing this last night, all of a sudden he's gone. Like So, man, let's appreciate each other, man. Tell each other we love each other. Matter of fact, forgive each other, make amends with each other, love each other. Because I'm telling you, I don't know why I'm saying this for, but tomorrow is not promised. So, let's love on each other. That's all I have to say. Desiree the Coin, y'all have anything? That's all I have to say tonight. So, y'all have anything y'all want to implement?
No, I mean, I don't. I just think, also just be positive, even when it's in a worst case scenario situation. Try to find the blessings out of it, try to find the good out of it. That's going to help you not only physically but mentally to overcome what you're what you're facing. So just stay positive, be kind, and show some support out there, guys. We all need it.
That's it.
I'll just
One.
say, keep supporting. I just want to give a big quick shout out to James Burns of J&A Essence Sense, Lynn Diata of Elliott Management Group, and Chino Lucci of Poseidon's Neptune. They really are some wonderful bosses for what they do in coming to me. I just wanted to shout them out because, like I said, they helped me to see a lot based on their support, and of course, you and Desiree have really helped me to grow. So just shout out to all of y'all, and it just comes from just being supportive as best as you can. So stay positive.
And Furman, is Precise Glow the one that's on Saturday? Am I correct on
Yeah,
that?
this coming Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday. So definitely with guys, stay tuned for that. Like Precise Glow will be on. She's going to tell about all the different services that she offers. She's the one that did my lipo injections last Friday. She's also been a great advocate and support system for me on this whole healthier lifestyle. I didn't want to say the word. I didn't want to say that word of dieting, right? So she's been that person for those healthier lifestyle changes. So definitely tune in with us on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock to hear about all the services that Precise Glow has to offer.
And that's it right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a great night. We back here Saturday morning. Remember, love yourself, take pride in yourself, invest in yourself, and like I said, let's not take life for granted. Love each other, respect each other, because like I said, tomorrow's not promised. So we out of this thing. Y'all have a great night, everybody. Peace.